Today we're going to talk about physical and emotional abandonment of a child from a parent. It didn't happen to me, but I've been in this thing in prison and outside for 30 years now. And listen to other people, I'm beginning to understand the spiritual ramifications of a child being abandoned physically by a parent and emotionally by a parent. You know, when we were born, two people came together and became one. They became one physically and spiritually. When they had a child, that child was made up of these two spirits. It was meant for both parts of that child to stay intact until they got married or leave their mother and father and come home with their husband spiritually. And it applies physically too. Most of us don't understand the pain that a child experiences when one of those parents leave or abandon emotionally that child, reject them. Most of us can understand it better as adults because when we fell in love with somebody and we came together and broke up, we felt like our guts were being torn out of us, but we felt it physically, but it was a spiritual tearing apart. And because that spiritual tearing apart, we made up our mind nobody's going to hurt us like that again. And unless we get healed, our relationships with opposite sex go like this, nothing like this. And that's just a spiritual fact. And part of understanding in Christianity, we're in spiritual warfare. We're in warfare against the enemy of pain and rejection to come together with God and each other. Well, when one of these parents leaves his child, you take what happens to us later in life when we fall in love and are separated, that spiritual pain felt physically, multiplied many times over. And that child is asked several questions, consciously or unconscious. What is wrong with me that my own mother and daddy didn't love me, or mother or daddy didn't love me? I must not be able to be loved by anybody. And those are real questions. And they say, God, if you're so good, why'd you let my parents leave me? Those are good questions. And the only person who can really answer any question in our life is Jesus Christ. He's the only one that knows the truth, and He was there when it happened. He knows when we're angry with Him, when we love Him, regardless of what we say or do. He knows the motives of our heart and where our heart is. And so, when these children are abandoned, say a girl's abandoned by her daddy, that affects her relationship with men. Say a child is abandoned by the mother, that affects his relationship with women. Take a girl, a man who's abandoned by his daddy, it affects his relationship with his children and his wife. Same thing if the mother goes off. Jesus Christ was sent by His Father to earth to heal the brokenhearted, to set the captive free, and send forth as delivered those oppressed, downtrodden, bruised, crushed, and broken down by calamity. Well, a person who's bounded by their parent absolutely falls in that category. And He has to heal people to send them forth as delivered. In fact, He wanted to do it so much that He went to the cross and suffered and died. He died to set you free and heal you of that. Well, you know, there's a spiritual bond like in a biblical cord between parents and children, like other people. And you know, the truth is, we don't understand that spiritually because we're more educated now with psychologists trying to figure things out. But a spiritual problem can only be healed spiritually. can't be healed through your mind, changing your thinking, or psychologist, or going through this and that. The only healing power available is Jesus Christ. Now, a lot of people ask me, do you have to be a Christian to be healed? No, you don't. Jesus wants to demonstrate to you who He is so you will accept Him. Now, when you go through this prayer that you can download, it says go find somebody to go through it with you, and that's exactly what you need to do. You need somebody to guide you. Do they have to be a Christian? No. This prayer is between you and Jesus Christ. That's the only two people involved. The other person's just leading you. So you don't need an experienced minister. It can be a person that doesn't even know Jesus Christ. Because this prayer is between you and Jesus. Jesus said He would set you free. He will set you free. And until you hear healed of these bruises, you can't accept yourself or anybody else. And real love will never, ever operate in your life.